Hey guys, Mike from the Patriot Angle podcast. This podcast now has an email. That's right, guys. If you want to literally give your feedback, maybe something that you want to hear on the show more often, or maybe just new content that I'm not mentioning that you'd like to hear on the podcast, simply give me your feedback on the podcast's email, which is Patriot Unfiltered 1776 at yahoo.com. That's right, guys. It's Patriot Unfiltered 1776 at yahoo.com. Simply give me your feedback and I'll take it into consideration. I'll maybe just add in that onto my next episode. Or if you'd like to be a guest on my episode, simply give me your information and we'll look into it.
Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome to another episode today, the Patriot Angle Podcast. I had to do another episode today in replace of yesterday's network issues we had on the show. I do apologize for that. We've been having some network issues with the recording software lately. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but the producers here on the show say that it has been fixed, thank God. Last week we ran into some storm issues, so it's been on and off. It's been a weird week, a very weird week here on the show. And may I add, it is hot as shit in this damn studio. What is going on with the AC? I mean, Josh, my producer here, one of my producers here on the show that helps me out here, good friend Josh. Josh, buddy, do something with the AC. Turn the AC up, man. I mean, or at least turn it down. Do the opposite. Yeah, turn it down. AC is way too high here. It's like 86 freaking degrees here. At least 90 in this room. Turn the AC down. It's too hot. I can't do this show without proper air conditioning. With that being said, guys, thank you. Josh is going over to turn the AC down. Thank God. Did you turn it down? All right, great. Anyways, guys, welcome to today's show. Got a lot to talk about on yesterday's show, which was launched today on literally Backwards Joe. Biden's problems here with Afghanistan, the crisis and everything. That was actually recorded last night, guys, but it wasn't launched until this morning because of the network issues. Like I said, I'm going to do another podcast here, give it to the loyal listeners here, the followers here on the Patriot Angle Podcast, as well as my social media platforms, Patriot Unfiltered. With that being said, guys, welcome to today's show. I hope you liked the show yesterday that was actually launched today. Really, really good show. I'm getting really good feedback on that show. A couple little naysayers, but that's okay. You get them from time to time. You know, that's okay. You know, I expect that on this show, and I think every host should expect a couple of naysayers, right? You know, they're bound to pop up sooner or later, somewhere around the lines. But with that being said, guys, what is going on with the latest crap going on in this country? Do you know now COVID is now being labeled as a terror threat? Yeah, if you do not comply, I'm telling you, this is nuts. Crazy nonsense talk, if you ask me. crazy, out of touch, nut job stuff, lunatic. The words, I'm trying to find the words. It's ludicrous. There we go. Trying to find the words. It took me a couple minutes to put them in there, but it's ludicrous, guys. That's what it is. Hey guys, this episode today is brought to you by our good friends at Harry's.com. What is Harry's.com? It is a awesome, affordable set of razors and other products as well too. Harry's has been around since 2013. Back in 2013, the makers of Harry's, which is a German company, realized that shaving could be easier, more affordable, and as well more enjoyable, right? So they decided to come up with a concept to create super quality razors for the everyday Joe. These razors are super affordable, they're super convenient, and they're easy on the wallet, guys. These are quality blades that are designed in a factory in the country of Germany. Where can you pick up these razors? Just about everywhere, guys. Walmart, Target, Walgreens. I've seen them at CVS. They're just about everywhere where you can buy razors at. If you can't go into a store or you'd like to shop on their website, they do have a website, guys. Harrys.com. Visit them at Harrys.com, and you can also explore their full range of products, including body wash, bar of soap, face wash, shaving cream, shaving gel, post-shave mist, face lotion, just to name a few. They even have anti-dandruff shampoo and conditioner, guys. Constantly coming out with new products, new set of brands to their brand. So visit Harrys.com and mention that you heard it on the Patriot Angle podcast.
The Patriot Angle podcast on demand.
All right, guys. Today we're talking about the ongoing saga here. I was going to bring into the show here a little bit with the Afghanistan story. Guys, I don't want to talk about that. It's sad what's going on there. I thought I touched enough of it on yesterday's episode, which was also released this morning. I explained why it was released this morning, earlier today. And then also on this podcast, had some network issues, but I don't want to talk too much on the Afghanistan story. I think a lot of people understand what's going on. I think people even that listen to my podcast, previous, the one right before this one right now, completely understands what's going on. So let's move on. Shall we? Can we? Right? I don't want to talk too much about it. It's sad what's going on. We all know that Biden is a failed president, doesn't really comply well with decision making. We all know that, guys. Let's move on. We have more things to worry about. You know, we have things that are now being looked at as national domestic terrorism now. Yeah. If you want to go there, guys, we have now people being labeled as domestic terrorists if they criticize, if they're non-compliant, and if they don't follow COVID or CDC guidelines and rules. Also, if they don't follow state-mandated rules and regulations through their state and local governments. Yeah, if you don't follow that, folks, you can now be labeled as a domestic terrorist. Can you believe that garbage? Can you believe that? That's like what they're doing right now in New York. If anybody's following close to New York, you know, we had to see the Cuomo story last week unfold, which I touched a lot on that topic on last week's episode. You can pretty much go right to that episode, and I mean, I pretty much bashed the hell out of Cuomo on what he did with the not only the state of New York, but the city of New York. Destroyed mom and pop and 5-star restaurants. They'll never be able to come back. The travesty what he did in a year is it's crazy. But what can you do, right? This is what needs to be done, okay? We could literally stop all of the mess that's going on in this country, okay? Now I'm touching on the story here with this COVID crap. Oh yeah, COVID. Yes, they want to label people now as a domestic terrorist because they don't want to comply with rules and regulations. Well, newsflash for you. Listen, this is America. No one's going to want to go to a bar or a restaurant and have to show their damn vaccination card. No one's going to want to do that, guys. And if they do that, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? They're going to see it. They're going to get fed up with it. They're going to drop the damn reservation card or whatever the hell they have to fill out at the restaurant. They're going to drop all that. They're going to walk the hell out with their family. They're going to walk out with their wife, girlfriend, whatever, friends. And they're going to say, the hell with this. We'll just go home and cook. Because restaurants, folks, is a leisure. Okay? And guess what's going to happen? Your mayors and governors are setting up restaurant owners, bar owners, sporting event owners, staff, everything up for failure. Because no one is going to want to put up with this horse baloney bullshit. Because it is. There are more deadlier diseases and viruses out there, folks, than COVID-19. Yes, there is. If you've been living under a rock for the last 50 years, you would know that. But if you are living under a rock, you wouldn't know that. Yes, heart disease, heart failure, cancer, diabetes, they have a less survival rate than COVID-19 to begin with. They do. You can fact check that if you want to fact check anything. Because I know everybody loves fact checking shit today. They're on their damn computers and they got to fact check it. Is he right? Is he telling the truth? I mean, we live in a society where we're surrounded by simple-minded morons. Sorry to say it like that, but it's the truth. We're surrounded by these peons that don't have anything else to do than decide to go on Twitter, Facebook, they go on Google, and they have to make sure that what you're saying is accurate and true. Yes, folks, cancer has a very less survival rate than COVID. Diabetes even have a less survival rate than COVID. Okay? Heart failure, if you're suffering from high cholesterol, okay? You're overweight, this and that. You have high risk for heart failure, right? That, my friends, even has a lower survival rate than COVID. Okay? It does. It does. So if these people, these pharmaceutical companies out there want to literally push the vaccines for COVID-19, how come they're not in their laboratories pushing vaccines and more proper medications for diabetes, cancer, and heart disease patients? How come? How come they're not pushing that for that? They're more worried about pushing vaccines for a damn virus or a disease that has a survival rate of 99.9%. Folks, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be nasty. I'm trying to wake up the American people through my podcast. Okay? Listen, you can beat this COVID-19. The only thing it affects people is people that have underlying health issues. Okay? That are relevant to what I just said. People that are diabetic. People that have cancer. Okay? People that are overweight. Those are the people that are going to be vulnerable the most. But does the CDC, does the federal government say anything like that? No. All they said was somebody died from COVID complications. Well, what did they really die from? Did they die from COVID, or did they die from being a diabetic, being a cancer patient, or having heart failure? More or less, they probably died for either one of those three. Either one of those three. COVID is an upper respiratory disease. It follows in the coronavirus family. Folks, it is more like a sniffle or a bad cold of the flu. It can be easily recovered from. Take some medication, okay? If you're not big on the medication, take what my mother and grandparents used to call it back in the day, Jewish penicillin. What is Jewish penicillin? It's a lukewarm bath or a shower with a little bowl of Campbell's soup and a nice 2 to 4 hour power nap. Wake up, you feel like $1 million. Literally, you feel fine. You can overcome this disease. Stop being literally brainwashed and manipulated by the far left that is using this thing as a political weapon. That's all they're doing, folks, is to use it for a political weapon. Why? Because there is an election coming up in 2024, right? For the re-election of either Joe Biden or another candidate to come in and say, I can do better. Because I think we do need someone that can do better. We deserve better than Joe Biden. Joe Biden is failing this country miserably over and over again. Not only with the current situation going on with Afghanistan, but with America in general. He is not performing at his best, folks, and we are clearly seeing it. I mean, what does it take for people to understand? And then you're going to talk about a damn little people getting upset because you could be labeled as a domestic terrorist if you want to criticize. Oh, get this, guys. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security is now saying and issuing a new advisory identifying threats posed by groups engaged in grievance-based violence that are literally grieving their First Amendment right in protest against certain COVID mandates. But they're using it as grievance-based violence, okay? Yes, a protest can link to violence, but here's the thing, guys, okay? Here's the thing. They'll always label it like that, but watch the videos. Watch the proof. Are they being violent? No. They're sitting on a freaking corner and they're grieving their First Amendment rights. It's their rights. Love it or hate it, it's their rights. You agree with it or you just don't agree with it, that is their right. Love it or hate it. That's it. Can't have it one way or the other. But here's the thing. Where was the grievance-based violence with Black Lives Matter and Antifa last year? Right? Did they show grievance-based violence? Yes. Sure they did. Through their protests? Yes. That's the difference between violent protests and peaceful protests. They were showing so many signs of violent protests by looting stores, destroying businesses, literally blocking traffic in inner cities. But where was the U.S. Department of Homeland Security on that? Where was the local police departments on that? Where was even the FBI on that? Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Because people shouted Black Lives Matter and everybody shut up and let them have their little talk. That's fine. You want to shout Black Lives Matter? Go ahead. Go ahead. But when somebody comes out on a street corner and is protesting their First Amendment right against COVID mandates such as masking and vaccinations, that is their First Amendment right. They're allowed to do that. What it shouldn't be allowed to be aired or projected is having people being labeled as domestic terrorists because they don't want to comply with a mandate. This is America. This is not third world country. This is America. If you don't want to wear a freaking mask, you don't have to wear a freaking mask. If you don't want to take the damn vaccination, you shouldn't take the damn vaccination. My body, my choice. I'm tired of hearing people literally criticize other people for not masking up and not taking the jab. That's their right. Their God-given right. Hey guys, got a new sponsor here on the show. Bungable's Citronella wristbands. These things are great, guys, and they're very, very affordable. Some you can get for like 88 cents at stores such as Walmart. I've seen them at Target, just about everywhere. These little wristbands are great for going out on picnics, camping trips, jogging, just about everywhere. And they're also good for the kiddos out there too. If you got kids, pick a pack up, you know. Bungable's Citronella wristbands. They have one size fits all. They're citronella scent, and they're easy to use. They're awesome, guys. Like I said, you got kids out there, pick a couple out for your kids. If you're one for hating mosquitoes and the bugs that are, especially in the summertime, pick a pack up and never be without. I use them from time to time when I'm jogging here in Atlanta, and they're great, guys. Bungable's Citronella wristbands. Pick them up, available everywhere. Also, to check their website out, guys, at bungables.com. That's right, guys. Check them out online. They even have a Facebook page, Bungables. Check them out on Instagram, Bungables, guys. They're everywhere. They're super affordable. Like I said, very, very unique and also good for summertime.
Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. With our privacy and security features, a built-in VPN protects you from hackers by keeping your connection encrypted and private. Features are easy to use and included with all 5 phone plans. Learn more today.
Michael Gardner, a host like no other. Unfiltered, unhinged, unscripted, raw.
All right, guys, back here to the show. We're talking about a heated topic here. It just seems to be buzzing on a lot of different platforms. People being criticized as domestic terrorists. Yes, well, they're being labeled as domestic terrorists. Let me re-narrate that again. They're being labeled as a domestic terrorist because they're criticizing COVID mandates such as masking and vaccinations. Yes, if you do not comply or you do not follow the rules and regulations by the dictatorship of this country, you are now being labeled as a domestic terrorist. Can you believe that? Yeah. The masking, the vaccination, that has become the new norm in such a short period of a year and a half. The old norm of America, the actual norm of America, that has been extinct, folks. We will probably never see that again. Well, we will see that again, hopefully, if we have the right leadership in this country that's running this country right instead of running it to the ground. We will see the old norm come back to America. But for now, we have to live in a totalitarian type of society where we have to put up or shut up, pretty much. That's basically what's become of this country. And I want to get more into that, but I want to mention here, a lot of people have been asking me, the birds here in the background. We brought my parakeets into the studio. A lot of people like to hear that in the background sometimes. So you can hear my parakeets in the background. Those are for my listeners out there that love the parakeets. You know, I've had them on my show a couple times, if you've noticed them. They're really beautiful birds. Both Sally and Mally. That's their names. They're female parakeets. Sally and Mally. Yes, I love them. And they're part of the show. I guess you could say, right, Josh? That's the show's mascot, right? Right? You know. So you know, we have fun on the show, and I love to have them part of the background. You know, they're my girls. You know, they're my parakeets. I love them. You know, so we have them in the studio now all the time. All the time we have them in the studio, and they're awesome. They're awesome. They really are. You know, it's thanks for the background, Josh. Right on top of that. Anyway. But guys, we're talking about this new situation that is occurring, this new topic, this new story now, with COVID rules, and how the Department of Homeland Security is issuing new advisory identifying threats posed by groups engaged in grievance-based violence. Yes. Can you believe that? The United States Department of Homeland Security is warning that tensions over new COVID-19 restrictions may be seen as a result or a reason for extremists to conduct violent attacks. First of all, if somebody is shouting at somebody, let me just set the narrative here. If somebody's going to shout at somebody else, guys, okay, if they don't agree with that person's agenda, their narrative, they don't agree with their message, that isn't a violent attack. That is part of your First Amendment. Yes, folks, we still have Bill of Rights. We still have the Constitution in this country. Even though it's being attacked every single day by the far left, we do still have it part of our country. Okay? That's simple as that. Now, with that being said, pandemic-related stressors have been contributed to an increased social toll strains and tensions, driving several plots by domestic violent extremists, and they may contribute to more violence this year. According to the DHS bulletin, that they had said that these extremists may seek to exploit the emergence of COVID-19 variants by viewing the potential reestablishment of public health restrictions across the United States as a rationale to conduct attacks, according to the DHS. I mean, this is getting a little too much, guys. Little too much. Okay? The department also said that the U.S. continues to face a diverse and challenging environment leading up to and following the 20th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 attacks. Yes, folks, that's coming right up. That's 20 years. It's been, geez, God, it's been that long already. So they're looking as that. So, I mean, what is this garbage? I mean, should I continue on this? I mean, it's been my leading topic here on the show, on the podcast here today. I mean, they're even going further to saying that law enforcement officials have been concerned by the potential for a new strain of domestic terrorism in the United States following the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol by supporters of former President Donald Trump. I had to say it like that because that's pretty much how they write it. Many of whom were convinced the 2020 U.S. election was tainted by fraud. Well, we all know that it was tainted by fraud. We know that. We know that. We're not just gonna literally kick that underneath the rug and shut up about it and quit about that. We know the general election was tainted by fraud. Even the people, the fraudsters themselves, know that they committed crime, high crimes in the United States of America, with voter integrity. We all know that. I mean, do we have to be reminded about that? Anyway, here's a plug-in here I want to show on the show here. on the podcast here. Plug in number 6, please, Josh. So as we're waiting on the plug-in here, I do apologize. Josh is not himself today. Josh, number 6, please. Yes, put the monster drink down, buddy. And come on, it's time to work. Time to work, right? We got to work, pal. We got to work, right? Anyways, in the incident, thousands of Trump supporters. I do apologize. He's very new, guys, but that's okay. That's okay. That's how experience comes, right? And it's an unscripted show, so we're not scripted here. It's okay. I don't have to apologize. It's an unscripted show. It's a raw show. It's unfiltered. It's this and that. Oh, here we go, guys.
In many ways, the presidency of Donald Trump had been building to a moment like this. More than 4 years of dangerous rhetoric.
And then he sowed this disinformation that it laid the groundwork for the idea that if I lose, it means that there's been this massive fraud.
An election cycle dominated by false claims of fraud and theft, and a party all too willing to let him do what he wanted.
There really wasn't any ramifications for Donald Trump doing this, and if that's where the Republican voters are, that's where the Republican Party's going to go.
The Republican Party has become actually a very dangerous party.
All right, turn it off right there. Turn it off here. I just wanted to show you the liberal mental illness of what's going on in this country, where they're now claiming that the Republican Party has become a party of dangerous insinuators, extreme narratives, extremists, this, that. That's what's basically going on. Even to, the DHS literally saying this in a tweet, that the DH remains committed to sharing timely information with the public about the heightened threat environment in order to protect communities across the country. Okay, this has gone way too damn far. Way too far. Okay? Where you're seeing literally people that wear masks and people that did the vaccines and this and that versus people that don't want to wear a mask and people that don't want to take the vaccines. We are seeing a divisive political issue. That's what we're seeing, folks. Okay? Literally. And who's to blame for that? You want to blame Donald Trump? You want to blame Donald Trump for this? Okay? Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and blame Donald Trump. But blame him for this. He did divide this country. Whoa, where are you going there, Mike? Hold on. Listen to me on this. He did divide the country. But he divided the country on common sense, hardworking individuals versus people that are dumbfounded, manipulated by the far left, and will believe anything that they say. So I applaud Donald Trump for literally waking up the American people. The American people are pissed. Yeah, the Capitol 6 riot was wrong in so many aspects. Okay? Should they have broken into federal property? No. I've said that from time after time. They shouldn't have done that. We should be worried about things in this country that means something. Like what's going on in the Middle East. Okay? Stop the divideness in this country with the COVID relief shit. Stop. It's getting stupid. It's going on way too long. Stop with that nonsense. We do not need to hear it. We do not need to hear it. It's gone on way too long, and it needs to end. I've said it time after time after time. It needs to end. Will it end? I hope so. God, I hope so. I've been praying for this country for the longest time about a lot of different ideals and a lot of different scenarios that need to overplay itself. Okay? In other news, I want it, since we're getting into this masking, this vaccination, this new type of system now, people being labeled as a domestic terrorist because they don't want to comply with government ordering and stuff like that. I mean, you know, which I think is just it's crazy, and it's a full form of idiocy at its best. I want to get into this other report here before I close it out here of literally San Diego. It's a very hot topic here of a San Diego pastor. You got to listen to this, guys. I may be the first to be one of many political conservative podcast hosts that's going to actually air this on the airwaves here of what's going on here. It's a trending story. I'm getting this story out of Breitbart News, which I love. They're an awesome conservative contributor to the patriotic conservative movement. Not only do they report positive, truthful facts, but they set the narratives the way it should be set. And that's what I love about Breitbart. Very, very few platforms out there that are like this. Newsmax, another one that I follow. Really, really good content. So without further ado, this, guys, is a San Diego pastor slamming the vaccine mandates and lockdowns, saying we do not consent. Okay? And you got to check this out, guys. Soundbite number 8, please. I mean, this is crazy stuff, guys. Crazy, crazy stuff. Where you're going to hear this here, where this pastor is literally slamming vaccine mandates and lockdowns, saying that they're not going to consent to this tyranny that's going on. I mean, check this out. This is nuts. Like, literally nuts.
This young man.
Yeah. Do we have the soundbite here? Oh, we do have the soundbite. Okay. Here it is right here. As we're about to play it here. You got to check this out, guys. But okay, here it is. Here it is.
Before I get started, I just wanted to honor Jim Desmond. Thank you for standing up. Thank you for being a voice for the people, for we the people, standing up and being one of the only voices of truth and reason on this. So like I said, I'm a pastor, so 2 minutes is almost impossible, but I'm going to do my best. I'm also a husband. I'm also a father of 2 beautiful girls. And like I said, I'm part of the pastoral team at Awaken Church here in San Diego. And there's 5 locations around the area representing well over 10,000 plus people that are we the people, that are representatives, or that you guys represent, and we do not consent to what is going on. As a pastor, we were one of the churches, one of the few churches that remained open. Obviously, many of you know that because you were engaged with our team quite extensively. We remained open. Here's why we did. And like many, we initially were closed because we didn't know. We didn't know exactly the effects of it. Once we realized this was not a health issue, this was a control issue, we stayed open, we remain open, and we will never close again. We will never stop having services. Here's why. Here's why. Not because we want to be open, like many of accused churches, not because we're trying to collect money. We are open because we love people, because we care about people. And every single Sunday that we were open, especially in that beginning time, every single week at every campus without fail, we had someone say, I was about to commit suicide because of everything going on. I was desperate. I was at the end of my rope. I searched and said, God, please let there be somewhere I could go. Please let there be a church. And we were the only ones open. They came. And because of that, their life and their generation after them is spared because we stayed open and we love people. I encourage you and I challenge you, do not lock down, do not force masks, do not force vaccines. We the people want to remain free.
God bless you. God bless you to the San Diego pastor that is literally standing up not only for his church community, okay, his members of the church, and the community around that area of San Diego. Okay, I'm told that this is a pastor team at Awaken Church in San Diego spoke at a county board of supervisors meeting earlier this week and blasted lockdowns and mandates while vowing to never close church doors again. They realize that this is not a health issue, folks. It's a control issue, okay, by the far left. I've said that from time after time, guys. Okay, I'll say it again until my ears fall off. Okay, until your ears fall off from hearing it. This is not a health issue, guys. We completely realize that, or at least simple-minded people realize that already. This is a controlled issue. A controlled issue. Okay, literally, I applaud this guy, this pastor, okay, for going there. And as he said, guys, as a pastor, we were one of many churches, one of the few churches that remained open. Obviously, many of you know that because you were engaged with our team quite extensively, we remained open. Okay? And once we realized, like I said it, I just said it. I'll say it again. I like saying it because it's true. And he said the same thing. He said it very, very good. Once we realized this was not a health issue, this was a controlled issue, we stayed open. We remained open, and we will never close again. We will never stop having services. We are open because we love people, because we care about people, and we will continue to serve God in this community. We do not consent with the lockdowns and forced vaccines. Rise up, pastors and Americans, and stand up for your constitutional rights. That was Pastor Samuel. I'm not going to say his last name, but that was just Pastor Samuel of the San Diego Church. We applaud you. Thank you, sir, for joining the conservative movement. Thank you, sir, for being a patriot. And thank you, sir, for standing up for religious rights in this country, which is being attacked every single day in this country by the tyrants that are in government right now. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning into this little double-decker of a feature. Thank you, Josh. Can you hear me, Josh? Okay, he's nodding his head. Thank you, Josh, for stepping in and helping out today. Thank you very much. Had a lot to do today on today's podcast with my other line of work. Thank you for plugging in and helping me plug in the episode from this morning. I do appreciate that. You saved me from today, from yesterday, from our network issues. Thank you, Josh. Look forward to having you more on the show, even though you're a little new here on the show. Thank you, man. You're a good friend of mine, and please come back. With that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.